Happy Tax Day. Yeah, there's nothing happy about April 15th and paying taxes, but it's what we have to do. I got a text this morning from my brother that said we had a mini twister, he thinks, come through the farm last night. These terrible storms that you heard about coming through the south and tornadoes hitting. We got a piece of that storm last night. I guess it woke me up about 3 o'clock this morning. So I'm headed down here to the farm to see what the damage was. Looking around, they got a lot of damn rain down here. The ditches are full. I had 1.5 inches at my house. I guess that's what they got here. But we had a lean-to on one of the barns that we had looked at last week, and I told my brother I was going to just take that lean-to off of the barn. We did not need it anymore. It was rotting and starting to pull away from the barn. So apparently that's what the wind took down last night, was that lean-to. I had my snowplow in there, the one that I put on the pickup truck, but he said the way the wind took it down, it did not damage that snowplow that was sitting inside of there. But as I said, we were aware of that, and it was on the list to take down because it had rotted and pulled away from the barn. So let's head down and see what that was all about. Let's go look at the rain gauge and see how much rain we actually got. Oh yeah, they got more down here than I got. 2.2 inches. Yeah, I could tell looking at the ditches and the water in the fields. 2.2 inches. Wow, that's a lot. That will keep us out of the fields for a while. Well, okay. It appears it just picked the roof up and set that down over here. So this was a lean-to that we just put on the end of this barn here about 20 years ago to put our grain dryer in. So we would put the dryer in here after the end of the season, until eventually we built that 4-post roof over the dryer that you actually saw in the video last year. I think that the wind blew that down. Was that last year or the year before? We have since junked the grain dryer. It just rusted out and we no longer used it. But we had repaired this lean-to last year. It was starting to pull away from the barn, and so we repaired it, but that repair did not last very long, and I noticed last week it had started pulling away again. It had just rotted, but mainly it was this locust post here that had rotted out, and that's what was causing this lean-to to pull away from the barn. And as I said, I had looked at it last week and made the determination I was just going to pull the whole thing down, take the tin off of this part here, and just put on the end of the barn, because we really don't need this lean-to anymore. We have room in the barn to put that snowplow in our little cart here with our air compressor and generator on it. We've got room for that in the barn. So looks like Mother Nature has taken care of part of this for me, and it looks like I'll be able to salvage enough tin there to put on the end of the barn here once we pull it down. But yeah, that was a pretty good gust of wind. My brother said he heard it come through He claims he saw the funnel cloud about 10:30 last night, which we were under a tornado watch. But as I said, I didn't hear the storm at my house until about 3 o'clock this morning, but he claims this was about 10:30. So it just picked that roof up completely and dropped it right over here. Set it right down on the ground. A little dent there in the side of the building. Didn't touch the skylight he's got laying up against the building there. So that's not a big deal. As I said, we knew that was already happening. So I am headed up to the plant and flower auction. I need some plants for the hardware store. Looks like it's going to be a decent week, so people will be ready to plant in their gardens. That's what I'm headed up to do, and I guess this afternoon I'll see if Patron is available. He and I will come down and start cleaning this up. So we'll see what kind of footage we can get for you on that, so stay tuned. Well, hey, there's a couple of eagles up there, 2 of them, along with the buzzards. But hey, that's not what I was here to talk about. We have been under a wind advisory all day long. This wind has blown 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts even higher than that. So I have decided to put this project of cleaning up, I'm going to put that off for another day until these winds die down. There's nothing worse than trying to, well, I'm sure there are worse things, but trying to handle this tin with the wind blowing like this, it's not worth it. So we're going to wait to do that for another day when the wind has died down. But you can probably hear it on the camera how bad it's down here to the creek. My God, it is wet. But we have got the tide up a little bit. My guess is the mouth of the creek is not open, so this is not draining. And because of all of the water that we have had in the high tides, it has stayed up right at the edge of this pier, and so I guess the boards have rotten, the braces underneath have rotted, and we've got a part there that has fallen down. That's not a big deal to fix. So until we get back to this project of pulling this tin off and cleaning this mess up, I'm just going to say, see ya!